Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you. When I browse social media, and when you guys browse social media, I see a lot of like those beauty Instagram videos where they like point at their face and then they do this and then they do something with their makeup to fix the problem that wasn't a problem for their face anyway. And you guys tag me in so many of them. But here's how I think of it. I always think of those videos as just some light entertainment, you know? It's not really meant to be taken too seriously, I hope. So what I thought I would do with you guys today is just go through some things that I've seen online that have become kind of like bad habits in our makeup routines. And they're also just things that we don't even need to bother to do. Just a little disclaimer, first of all, if you like having fun with makeup and doing all this, then that's absolutely fine. That's your but from your comments and from the videos you guys tag me in, I kind of know that this isn't your cup of tea. Let's do this, let's get into it. But just before that, if you don't know who I am and this is your first time on my channel, thank you for being here. First of all, my name is Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist here on YouTube and also in real life. I've been doing it for many years. I'm very old. And it is my goal here on YouTube to help you become a pro yourself or just someone who's really good at makeup. And sometimes that means separating what we see online to real life. So shall we do it? Let's do it. Let's talk about our first bad habit. So I want to talk about eye primer first. If you guys are always here on my channel, you know how much I go on about using eye primer, how it's so much better over concealer, how you have to use it if you want your eyeshadow to last all day, if you want pigmentation to come out properly. Here's the deal. One thing I've noticed is that when I talk about eye primer, I get a lot of questions about why people's eye primer isn't working. And after talking to you guys, here's why I think it isn't working. The way we see eye primer being used online is a very heavy, patted on kind of technique that is way too much. It's way too heavy. And it kind of defeats the purpose of the eye primer in the first place. You have over the top product, it's all creasing. An eye primer shouldn't be creasing. So to build up that much product really defeats the purpose. All you need for an eye primer is a fluffy blending brush or even your fingertip, the smallest amount, just to even out the tone on the lid and to apply a veil of product over where you're going to put your eyeshadow. We don't need to do this whole building it up, meeting in the middle. I mean, it looks very pleasing, but is it good? Not really. Talking about too much product, the next thing I want to talk about is painting on foundation. You might be like, what are you talking about? I mean, literally painting product onto the face. So here's my issue with this. Makeup is meant to be blended. It's meant to be blended somewhere into something, if that makes sense. So if you're painting this whole area, you're literally tapping it into place. So you get no blending, you get no movement, you literally get a slapped on product, which is great if you want full coverage, maybe not so great in daylight or any kind of light, maybe a dark room. Same with highlight, everything like that. So you're creating like this mask effect on your face rather than having this really nice blended effect. To blend something means to soften or to move it or to create a different kind of texture or movement with that product. Let's think of an example like a smoky eye. When we want to blend out eyeshadow, we apply a little bit of product and then we blend that out and smoke it. You want to apply a little bit of product first and then blend that into somewhere. Ideally, we don't want to be packing on product. It just creates this horrible mask-like texture and look, and it's just not cute. It's literally how we apply face masks, you know, like that thick layer. And I mean, there's full coverage and then there's, well, whatever that is, I guess. Now, I talk about this one a lot, but I want to go a little bit more in depth into this. Actually, I don't talk about that so much. Squeezing product onto your face. So say, for example, I have my primer and I'm going to bloop everywhere on my face. Again, looks great. Brands would love that so you can use up their product quicker. But here's the deal. When you watch some of these videos, see where just one of those dots of product blends to. You can use 1 or 2 pumps of product and blend that over the whole face and get a full coverage. People are doing 2 pumps, 1 pump, and you're getting this, again, like mask-like coverage, but also you're wasting your product. That is a lot of product to use. If you're using a brush, a beauty blender, whatever you're using to do your foundation, just drop some on the back of your hand, start in the middle of the face and work your way out. If you have blemishes around the outside of your face, work from the outside of your face. Start where you need the most coverage first. Don't just assume you need coverage absolutely everywhere. But this is also a problem with primers, face oils, oil primers, things like that. If you're dropping product everywhere, you might be overusing that product. And it comes to a point where your skin is going to be like, actually, I don't need any more moisture. I don't need any more oil. I'm going to reject that moisture in one area. So then when you're putting on your foundation or something like that, your foundation can actually start to break down quick. You're creating this really, really wet surface on your skin. You want your primers, your prep, all your kind of skincare to blend in with your skin. And ideally, unless you're super, super dry, you don't really want a layer over your face. Basically, it's going to interfere with your foundation. That's what I'm trying to say. This is a bad habit I want to share with makeup artists or people training to become a makeup artist, or just, I guess, anyone. A yellow undertone isn't everyone's undertone. I just want to start by saying that because I see so many people with a red undertone to their skin or a pink undertone, whatever you want to call it, and the artist uses a yellow tone straight on top. Yes, it might calm down the redness, but then you have this strange comparison from the neck and the chest. And of course, you can put foundation on your neck, but ideally, we don't really want to. It's become like this trend in makeup to put yellow on absolutely everyone, and sometimes it can look horrible. People don't consider neutral undertones. Some people might be yellow and red. I, for example, although I look extremely yellow, I'm neutral. If I'm to put a yellow tone on my face when I go outside in real daylight, I almost look green. And if I was to put a pink on my face, I go out in daylight and I look orange. So I need to have that meet in the middle, like neutral tone. It's not so important on yourself. If that's what you like and that's what you do, that's you, that's fine. However, if you have clients, if you're doing a bride, if you're doing something like that, a camera is going to pick up that wrong tone. Yellow isn't for everyone. Learn how to match foundations properly, learn your skin undertones, and train yourself to see skin undertones. I have a video all about it. I'll link it below. I probably won't. Remind me. While we're on the subject of a wrong skin tone, let's talk about color correctors. Again, this is something I talk about a lot, the excessive use of color corrector. But today I want to touch on how color correctors can actually change your color off your foundation if not used properly. So we see a lot of time online, we see people using excessive color corrector, dotting it on their face to make like an interesting looking video or thumbnail. I get it, but it can end up changing the whole tone of your foundation. I saw a video and it was a girl using a blue color corrector and then she put on a yellow foundation. Yellow and blue make green. Color theory, you know? I recently did an MUA reacts to James Charles video, and I actually didn't mention this in the video, but it's very, very obvious. He uses an orange color corrector, like an insane amount. He can use a tiny bit, absolutely, but use it properly to a point where it isn't blended with the skin. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to skin prep and things like that and not using too much product. But it mixes in with his foundation and he gets this really strange pink color in his foundation that doesn't match his skin tone at all. So color corrector is absolutely fine if you feel you need it, not an excessive amount. And if you do need to use a lot, build it up slowly in layers and learn how to color correct properly. Yes, it's a process, but do you want to be your skin color or do you want to be green? I mean, I'm green. I can't help it though. That's just me. The last thing I want to touch on with you guys today is... Yes, okay, is moving the eye when you're doing makeup. For example, a lot of the times, here's the deal, guys. I just want to say something. I know I'm all about like natural kind of makeup, but when it comes to the eyes, I love a big over the top, do whatever you want with the eye, shove whatever you want on it, you know, in terms of the finished product. But here's something that's a really, really bad habit that I've noticed a lot of people doing. When you see people doing eye makeup, sometimes online, first of all, they have this hand gripping to someone's head, which I hate anyway. But also, they usually have a thumb or a finger lifting up the brow. And this is because it makes the socket and the crease more obvious. It's a more of a desirable eye shape to do makeup on. But guess what happens when you drop the eyebrow? All the detail that you've worked so hard on then drops and completely changes shape. Skin moves. So whatever you put on that skin, it's gonna move with it. So by lifting up someone's brow or even stretching eyes when you do eyeliner, you're gonna change the shape of the end product and that overall image. I see people doing like these amazing, incredible cut creases when they do this, but as soon as you drop that, you know the cut crease is going to drop also. So all your detail is gone. And this is especially for practicing makeup artists because I see it a lot in like these academies. Ideally, you don't want to stretch your skin, you don't want to change your face shape in any way, even smiling when you put on blush. It's just everything drops. You lift, everything drops. You know, you lift, everything drops. The best way to do it, if you want to get precise shape, is to get your client or yourself to look up and down into a mirror, or if you're doing it on a client, just look down. They're not going to walk around like this, making sure everyone can see your amazing work. So everything might look great when they're like this, but see what I mean? I hope it makes sense. Anyway, I hope that helped some of you guys and answered some of your questions. They are all kind of based on questions and things I've been tagged in. So thank you for doing that, by the way. If you have any questions, please do leave them below. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Give this video a big thumbs up and please consider subscribing to my channel. And let me just leave you with this little message here. I read through some of the comments on some of these, you know, like crazy clickbaity videos. And people are genuinely asking about the process and how to do that process in their everyday lives. 12-year-olds going to school to 50-year-old ladies going to work, you know? As influencers or YouTubers or what else are they called? Beauty gurus. We should be transparent and very, very clear. When people ask us about something, be real. If you've done something because it looks good on camera, say, yeah, I love it because it looks good on camera, but in real life, not so much. It's okay to create, you know, content, whatever you want to call it. But be honest. Be real with people. I think that's more respectable than pretending something works and trying to sell a product. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. I will see you on Sunday. Yeah, have an amazing week and I will see you very soon. Bye.